My mom's been doing this since I was like 7, he confessed. Restaurants, theme parks, even got me out of PE once by claiming I had some rare heart condition. I used to think it was normal until my friends started calling her out. Why not tell someone? I asked gently. He shrugged, eyes fixed on the screen. She's a single mom, says the world owes her for everything she's been through. And I guess I was afraid of what would happen if I stopped playing along. After the movie, we walked out together, and I noticed the woman waiting in the parking lot, fuming. The teenager tensed up. Listen, I said, handing him my business card. My wife runs a support group for parents of kids with various sensory issues, but we also have resources for families dealing with other challenges. I chose my words carefully, aware my son was listening. If you ever need someone to talk to, just reach out. The woman spotted us and marched over. Are you talking to my son after humiliating us like that? Before I could respond, her son straightened his shoulders. Mom, they didn't humiliate us. You did, and I'm done pretending. Excuse me? Her voice rose dangerously. I said I'm done, he repeated firmly. No more fake allergies, no more made-up conditions. I want to be normal for once. She grabbed his arm. Get in the car, now. Actually, the theater manager approached, having overheard. We've had reports of similar incidents at other businesses in this mall. The security office would like to speak with you before you leave. As they walked away, the teenager looked back at us, a mix of fear and relief on his face. My son tugged at my sleeve. Dad, will that kid be okay? I watched as mall security escorted them toward the office. I hope so, buddy. I really hope so. 3 weeks later, I received a text from an unknown number. Hey, it's Tyler from the movie theater. My mom's starting therapy now. Thanks for not just walking away that day. No one ever stood up to her before. Sometimes it takes just one person calling out a lie to unravel years of manipulation. My son still asks about that movie theater kid occasionally, and I tell him that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply tell the truth. I'm
actually always on eBay looking.
Blueberry, occo, puccini, palloni, luliloli, capibarbero, cocosini, bombardiro, crocodilo, un po' tutto alligatore, troppa, frula, pinguino, bla bla bla, micus, patapim, la vaca Saturnita, chimpanzee, banani, giraffa celeste, cappuccino assassino, prendo bandito, oi, lirila, ballerina, cappuccina, tralala, oh din dun, ma din dun, tralala.
What's the dumbest way you've ever been treated like a dangerous criminal? I was walking with my son after picking him up from school, and like always, he was messing with me. He pushed me. I pushed him back. Then, as a joke, he yelled, "Stranger danger." I laughed. He laughed. But guess who didn't laugh? The Karen standing next to us. Before I even processed what was happening, she sprinted toward my son, grabbed him, and went full action hero mode. "Are you okay? Are you safe? Say something." Both of us immediately said, "It's just a joke." She shushed us. "Don't listen to him. He's probably forcing you to say that." Oh, okay. Next thing I know, she's screaming for help, and that's when I heard it. Footsteps. Lots of them. I turned my head and saw an entire crowd of people forming around me like I was some most wanted criminal finally caught in the act. My son kept saying it was just a joke. No one listened. Then Karen yelled the words I was praying I wouldn't hear. "Call the cops." And just like that, 3 different people pulled out their phones. I just stood there. What was I supposed to do? Run? At this point, I looked more guilty just standing still. The cops arrived, and the second they did, people started yelling over each other about how I was trying to kidnap this poor child. My child. And the best part, Karen was still clinging to my son like she had just saved him from a burning building. The cops started asking questions. I pulled out my ID. My son explained, again, that this was his actual father. It was clear as day that I was innocent. But Karen doubled down. "I still think he should be investigated for child endangerment." The cop just sighed, looked at her, and said, "Ma'am, go home." She huffed, dropped my son like he was an old grocery bag, and stormed off. I just turned to my son and said, "Yeah, you're never pranking me again." What's the dumbest way?
With Premium Light, people can...
Comment your favorite, A, B, C, or D. Comment.
If I get anything besides a Tortagini, I'm gonna say a swear word on all of your guys' streams, okay?
Whoa! No, you ain't.
What? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I'm muting. Yes!
Yep. Freak, if you get the yin yang toilet, I will slap your cheeks and kiss you on the mouth.
W, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I've been looking for.
Come on.
That's what I've been looking for.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's not happening. This is the Fulton Lucky Block. As you can see, Sammy made this Lucky Block for me, and if you don't believe me, let me show you. Thank you for the yin and yang East Toxicola. Easy. No!
We all. Wait,
all right. Oh. Sammy is trying again. Right, Sammy, let's see your aura. Let's see if you got aura, Sammy.
Quick, roller guard.
If he gets the toilet, I'll say the F word on all your streams.
Oh! Don't say it. Don't say it.
Dans mon esprit tout divin, je me perds dans tes yeux. Dans mon...
This This guy went parachuting and somehow stuck a landing right on the roof of the wrong hotel. Security rushed up and tried to politely escort him down the stairs, but he wasn't about to get arrested today. Instead, he bolted to the edge, tossed his parachute over the side, and jumped like he was auditioning for Mission Impossible. And believe it or not, he nailed the landing. Talk about a getaway Tom Cruise would be proud of. This guy went...
I got pulled over last month for speeding. I was doing 40 in a 25 zone because I was late picking up my 6-year-old daughter from soccer practice. The officer walks up to my window, and I'm already apologizing and reaching for my license when he stops mid-sentence and stares into my back seat. Ma'am, step out of the vehicle, please. My heart drops. This sounds serious. Is there something wrong, officer? He's shining his flashlight around my car with this confused expression. Ma'am, I need you to explain what I'm looking at here. I turn around and remember that my car looks like a mobile daycare center exploded. There are juice boxes everywhere, goldfish crackers ground into the seats, and about 15 stuffed animals scattered around. But that's not what caught his attention. Sitting in the back seat, perfectly buckled into a car seat, is a life-sized cardboard cutout of The Rock. Next to him is a bag from Spencer's that clearly says adult novelty on the side. Oh God, I forgot about my sister's bachelorette party supplies. Officer, I can explain both of those things, and they're completely unrelated. He holds up his hand, trying not to laugh. Please do, because I've been doing this job for 12 years, and I've never had to ask someone why Dwayne Johnson is properly secured next to a bag of party supplies. So I have to explain that my daughter is obsessed with The Rock, not his movies, not his wrestling. She just thinks he's the nicest strong man and insists he comes everywhere with us. She makes me buckle him in for safety, says he's part of our family now. The officer nods slowly. And the Spencer's bag? My sister's bachelorette party is tonight. I'm the maid of honor. I had to pick up decorations and party games. He's clearly fighting back laughter. So you're telling me The Rock is chaperoning adult party supplies? Essentially, yes. My daughter doesn't know what's in the bag. She just knows Rocky has to be buckled in safely wherever we go. The officer walks around to look through the back window. Cardboard Rock is sitting there with his perfect smile, seatbelt properly fastened, while a bag full of inappropriate party games sits innocently beside him. Does he have a name? She calls him Rocky Johnson. And yes, before you ask, he has his own Happy Meal orders, his own seat at restaurants, and his own Christmas stocking. The officer loses it. He's laughing so hard he has to lean against my car. Ma'am, I have to ask, does Rocky have identification? I reach into my glove compartment and pull out a laminated card my daughter made. It's a driver's license for Rocky Johnson with his picture, our address, and under restrictions it says must be nice to everyone. The officer examines it seriously. Well, his paperwork seems to be in order. Then he leans down to my window. You know what? I was going to give you a speeding ticket, but Rocky here seems like a good influence. Anyone who makes sure The Rock wears his seatbelt is probably a responsible driver who just made a mistake. He hands me back my license. Just slow down, okay? Rocky's got people who care about him. As he's walking back to his patrol car, he stops and calls out, "Tell your daughter Officer Martinez said hi to Rocky." When I pick up my daughter, she's thrilled. Rocky made friends with a police officer? He's so good at making friends. The next week, she insists we drive by the police station so Rocky can visit his friend. We pull into the parking lot and she makes me honk the horn. She started making him a badge out of construction paper and aluminum foil. I got pulled.
At my brother's birthday, they stuck me at the kids' table, so I took my gift and left. I should have known something was wrong when my sister-in-law, Lisa, texted me the party details instead of my brother calling, but I brushed it off. Walking into the upscale Italian restaurant for Matt's 30th birthday dinner, I immediately spotted the beautifully set main table with gold place cards. I'd spent all week arranging the catering he couldn't afford, transferred $800 for the deposit without question, and bought him the Apple Watch series he'd been obsessing over for months. But scanning through every single elegant place card twice, my name wasn't on any of them. Oh, Jake! Lisa appeared beside me wearing a black dress I probably helped pay for, fake smile plastered on her perfectly made-up face. We had to make some last-minute adjustments to accommodate all the important guests. You'll be sitting over there, sweetie. She pointed with her manicured finger to a small folding table shoved in the corner, complete with plastic chairs and cartoon placemats featuring Disney characters, with 3 actual children under 10 years old. My stomach dropped to the floor like a brick. Lisa, I'm his brother, his only brother. Well, yes, but only important guests sit with the adults at the main table, she said, not even trying to hide her condescending smirk anymore. Her voice was dripping with fake sweetness. I'm sure you understand the hierarchy here. I looked back at the main table in disbelief. There was literally an empty chair right next to Matt, with a full place setting waiting for someone who apparently never showed up. Expensive silverware, cloth napkin, the works. Meanwhile, there wasn't even a plate anywhere for me at the kids' table. Matt glanced over from his throne-like position, saw my confusion and growing anger, and just shrugged like I was some annoying stranger bothering him. Guess you're not that important, Jake. Just sit down somewhere. The entire room heard him loud and clear. All eyes turned to me, waiting to see if I'd actually actually take this public humiliation lying down. My face burned with embarrassment and rage. These people knew me. They knew I'd co-signed Matt's mortgage when his credit was garbage, lent him my car for 4 months when his got repossessed, helped him move 3 different times, and bailed him out of financial trouble more times than I could count. And here I was, being treated like an unwanted charity case at his birthday dinner. Something inside me finally snapped like a rubber band stretched too far. I walked slowly to their main table, pulled out the blue Tiffany gift box from my jacket pocket, and held it up high enough for everyone in the restaurant to see. This $500 Apple Watch was purchased for someone I thought was my brother. Matt's face went completely white like he'd seen a ghost. His fancy friends shifted uncomfortably in their chairs. Lisa's smirk vanished instantly. Jake, don't do this here in front of everyone, but real brothers don't treat each other like personal ATMs or disposable servants. I tucked the box firmly under my arm and took a step back. Thanks for showing me exactly where I stand in your life, Matt. Crystal clear now. Lisa's mouth fell open. Someone at the table audibly gasped. I headed straight for the restaurant exit, my head held high. Wait! Matt suddenly jumped up from his chair, knocking over his expensive wine glass and sending red liquid splashing across the white tablecloth, panic flooding his voice for the first time all evening. You can't just leave. What about the party? What about everything? I stopped dead in my tracks, turned around one last time, and looked him dead in the eyes. What about it, Matt? Guess I'm not important enough to stay and watch you celebrate. And my brother...
Have you ever heard someone's last words? I was at work when the hospice called. Your sister Rose is declining fast. She has maybe a few hours left. She's asking for her mother. My clipboard fell from my hands. For 8 months, I'd been the one sleeping in that chair beside her bed, learning to braid her thinning hair, watching Frozen for the 100th time. Mom had promised she'd be there at the end, but kept making excuses about not being able to handle seeing Rose like this. I was already running to my car. I'm 20 minutes away. There's construction on I-95. Please just hold the phone to her ear. I could hear Rose's labored breathing through the phone. Hey, Butterfly, it's me. I'm coming right now. Mommy's coming too. Mommy. Her voice was so small, barely a whisper. I called Mom while merging into gridlock traffic. 20 minutes was now looking like 40. She answered on the 4th ring. In the background, I could hear loud music and the clink of glasses. Mom, it's Rose. The hospice says she could be gone any minute. Oh, honey, I'm at bottomless brunch with the girls from book club. My hands gripped the steering wheel. Mom, Rose is dying today, right now. Get there now. But I already paid $40 for unlimited drinks until 1 p.m. It's only 11:48. I watched the traffic ahead completely stopped. A sea of red brake lights. Mom, I'll pay you back. I'll pay you $1,000. Just please. I heard her talking to someone else. Another round for the table. The peach bellinis this time. Mom, I've had like 6 mimosas, honey. I need to eat something first. Can't show up drunk to a hospice. I hung up and called the hospice back. I need someone with Rose. Anyone. Please don't let her be alone. All our staff are with other patients in critical condition. At 12:15 p.m., the nurse held the phone to Rose's ear again. Is Mommy coming? She whispered. She's on her way, Butterfly. The lie burned my throat. I called Mom again. Rose specifically asked for you, please. I'll come after. They just brought the French toast. I can't waste food. Your daughter is dying. Don't be so dramatic. You said she has time. I called her an Uber from my phone. It was canceled 2 minutes later by the rider. I called 3 of Mom's neighbors, begging them to physically drag her out of the restaurant. They all had excuses. 12:45 p.m. I called Mom again. She was slurring now. Why are you being such a buzzkill? She's been dying for months. What's another hour? At 1:03 p.m., I burst through the hospice doors, taking the stairs 3 at a time. Rose looked so small in that bed. Her skin almost translucent. Her eyes fluttered open. Rose, I'm here. I love you so much. I'm so sorry. She squeezed my hand with what little strength she had left. Her lips moved, forming the shape of I love you, but no sound came. Her hand went slack in mine. Mom arrived at 1:35 p.m., reeking of champagne and carrying Target bags. I stopped to get her a stuffed animal, she announced, pulling out a unicorn. Where is she? She saw Rose's still form, the empty eyes, the silence where machines used to be. Why didn't you try harder to get me here? She turned on me, her voice rising. You knew I was out. You should have sent a car service. She asked for you 17 times, the nurse said quietly. Your son held the phone to her ear so she could hear your voice, but Mom's face hardened. She was dying anyway. What difference would it have made? That night, Mom posted on Facebook about losing her precious angel with a photo from 3 years ago before Rose got sick. The comments poured in from her book club friends who hadn't visited once during Rose's 8 months in hospice. What an amazing mother you are, they wrote. How lucky Rose was to have you. Mom replied to every comment with crying emojis and long paragraphs about her unbearable pain. I started typing my own post with timestamps of every call from that morning, screenshots of Mom canceling the Uber I'd ordered for her, and the exact quotes about choosing mimosas over her dying daughter, but I didn't hit send. Instead, I saved it all to a folder called Evidence. Every text, every call log, every screenshot of her choosing brunch over Rose's final moments. 2 weeks later, when Mom complained to relatives that I was excluding her from funeral planning, I simply forwarded them the folder. The responses were immediate. Her sister called her disgusting. Her mother said she was ashamed. Her book club friends stopped responding to her posts. Mom texted me, "You've ruined my reputation over a misunderstanding." I replied, "Rose asked for you 17 times. You chose bottomless brunch. That's not a misunderstanding." She never replied. At Rose's memorial, I spoke about her love of butterflies and Frozen songs. Mom sat in the back, alone, while Rose's nurses filled the front rows. The last thing Rose ever said was, "Tell Mommy it's okay." But I never told Mom that. Some final gifts don't deserve to be given. Have you ever...
Tong 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 sahur.
Easy.
Blueberry, oko puccini, burraloni, luliloli, capibbarrero, cocosini, bombardiro, crocodilo, un po' tutto alligatore, frimi troppa, troppa, frulli frulla, pinguino fa bla bla bla, da 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 sahur, bicus de bicus, per patapim, per patapim, per la vaca Saturno, Saturnita. Chimpanzee, ni, banana, ni. Giraffa, celeste, cappuccino.
I had a coincidence that was so insane. I almost got divorced. I woke up in the middle of the night to my phone ringing, and when I answered it, I heard my wife say she just got off work at the hospital and needed me to come pick her up because her car wouldn't start. I got up and told her I'd be there soon and left to go get her. But while I was leaving, I forgot my phone. When I showed up, I couldn't find her anywhere. The only other person I could see in the parking lot was a young girl sitting on the hood of her car. After about 20 minutes of waiting, I went over and asked if she needed any help, but she told me her boyfriend was supposed to come any minute. I sat there waiting for nearly an hour until I went inside to look for her. I asked one of the girls I recognized what was going on, but she just looked at me and told me my wife wasn't working today. I was really confused, so I asked her to use their phone to call her. When she finally answered, she was crying her eyes out, asking how I could do this to her. Now, I've never been more confused in my life and asked what she was talking about. Turns out she was at home the entire time, and all she heard was me answer the phone, say, "Okay, honey, be right there, love you," and leave. I was so tired I didn't even realize she was in bed next to me and just left to pick her up. She saw I had called a random number and even started Googling divorce lawyers. Since it wasn't her, I had no idea who I was on the phone with. But then, it all hit me. I went back out to the girl outside and asked if she was sure she called her boyfriend. She checked and realized she dialed one number off of his and called mine. We both could not believe this was actually happening, and I helped her start her car while we laughed. My wife was still crying when I got home and did not believe anything I was saying. She stayed mad for the next few days until she suddenly came home with a huge smile on her face. She told me she was sorry for not believing me because one of her coworkers told her about how a girl who worked there accidentally called someone's husband instead of her boyfriend to come get her, and that idiot actually showed up. I had a
When did you realize some people have zero empathy? I found out when my new neighbor declared war on my sick daughter's magical night garden. My 7-year-old daughter Lily has a rare skin condition. To put it simply, the sun hurts her. She can only play outside in the deep twilight, just as the last bits of sun disappear. Because of this, her world was mostly indoors. To give her a little piece of magic that was just hers, we built a special garden in our backyard. It was a moon garden filled with flowers like moonflowers and evening primrose that only bloomed at night. We strung up soft, twinkling fairy lights, and for an hour or so each evening, Lily could be a normal kid in her enchanted space. It was the one thing that brought her pure joy. Then, Mr. Henderson moved in next door. At first, he seemed fine, just a quiet, grumpy-looking man. About a week after he moved in, he installed a security light on the side of his garage. But this wasn't a normal light. It was a commercial-grade stadium-style floodlight, a miniature sun. When he turned it on that first night, it blasted our entire backyard with harsh blue-white light, completely washing out the fairy lights and bleaching the grass. I walked over the next day and knocked on his door. I explained very politely about Lily's condition and her special garden. I asked if he might consider angling the light downwards so it only covered his property. He just stared at me. "It's for my security," he said flatly. "I need to see my whole property line." I tried again, my voice gentle. "I understand, but it's just so bright. It's ruining my daughter's only safe place to play." He actually scoffed. "Not my problem. Your kid needs to toughen up. The world's a bright place." Then he closed the door in my face. The effect was immediate and devastating. The harsh light never turned off, running from dusk until dawn. Lily's moonflowers, which needed darkness to open, stayed tightly shut, then began to wilt. She would just stand at her window, tears in her eyes, watching her magical garden die. The light was so powerful it even cut through her blackout curtains, making it hard for her to sleep. My heart broke every single night. I tried everything. I called the city, hoping to file a nuisance complaint. They sent an officer out who measured the light. Mr. Henderson had done his research. The light was exactly 1 lumen under the legal limit to be considered a violation. It was completely legal. I even saw him watching from his window as the officer explained this to me, a smug little smirk on his face. He was enjoying this. He was enjoying taking away a sick little girl's only happiness. For 2 weeks, I felt utterly helpless. I was looking out the window at the wilting flowers and my daughter's sad face, and then I saw my own reflection in the glass, the reflection of the light. And that's when the idea sparked. It wasn't about fighting the light, it was about redirecting it. That Saturday, I went to a specialty hardware store. I didn't buy fences or trees. I bought 3 huge 4x8-foot sheets of polished mirror acrylic, the kind they use for dance studios. I also bought lumber, heavy-duty locking wheels, and a box of screws. My wife thought I was losing my mind as I spent the entire weekend in the garage, measuring, sawing, and building. I constructed 3 tall, sturdy panels on wheels, each one a giant, movable mirror. That night, his floodlight clicked on at dusk, as usual, bathing our yard in that horrible glare. I said nothing. I just calmly wheeled my 3 mirror panels out onto the patio. The only sound was the soft rumble of the wheels on the stone. I took my time, carefully positioning each one. I angled the first one, then the second, then the third, until they were perfectly aligned. The effect was instant and glorious. And his massive floodlight hit my mirrors and was reflected back as a concentrated, blinding beam of light aimed directly at the side of his house, specifically into his living room and bedroom windows. It was his own light, weaponized and sent right back to him, 10 times brighter. It took less than 5 minutes. His miniature sun went out. Our backyard was plunged into wonderful, peaceful darkness. For the first time in weeks, the fairy lights twinkled. A moment later, my phone rang. It was him, screaming, absolutely incoherent with rage about how he couldn't see his TV and how I was blinding him. I let him yell for a full minute. When he finally stopped to take a breath, I said, in the calmest, most polite voice I could manage, "Not my problem." And then I hung up. The next morning, I saw him on a ladder, quietly angling his giant light so it pointed straight down, only onto his own driveway. That evening, for the first time in a month, 2 of Lily's moonflowers bloomed. When did you realize?
Why are school laptops a target of destruction?
Like, bro.
At the beginning of the year, they hand us these shiny new laptops. Clean, untouched, fresh out the box. Fast forward 3 months, and they look like they
Survived a natural disaster.
I'm just trying to write my essay in peace. But the kid next to me isn't even pretending to do the assignment. He's running a full-blown gaming tournament on a school laptop. And somehow, he He downloaded the game on a device with a firewall built like it was meant to survive a military-grade cyber attack. What's even crazier is how smooth he is with it. The teacher starts walking down the aisle, and this dude doesn't even flinch. He just
Slaps Alt-Tab like it's second nature.
1 second he's deep in a match. Next second he's staring at a Google Doc titled
Essay.
The teacher walks by, completely unaware. Like, how did this man unlock stealth mode? Don't even get me started on how destroyed these laptops get. Keys missing, screens cracked, mystery stickers that look like they've been through several wash cycles, stuff you can't peel off no matter what. But the real moment of chaos? When someone inevitably breaks one.
You'll hear this horrible crunch.
Want to
Kowalski.
My fiance posted photos of her cheating on her last night of freedom, so I tagged her dad. Ashley and I had been together 3.5 years.
This is what Squid Game is like behind the scenes. In the hide-and-seek game, the actors weren't actually running that much. So to make it seem like the players are actually tired from running all day long, the actors had to start jumping before every scene. And also, the maze they built wasn't actually as tall as we see in the show, so they had to use CGI to make it look like it has multiple floors. And for the
Luke, what does IDK?
Thirsty Thursday. Yodeling, 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 yodeling. Thirsty.
I'm gonna pause. Oh my gosh, chat. We also have a La Grande. So if you guys want me to pull another La Grande, then subscribe to the channel right now because we're about to be opening another Lucky Rot secret. Oh my gosh, guys. If you guys want me to open up this Lucky Rot.
Some say less is. Babe, be honest. Would you date her?
No, babe.
Pretend you're single for a second. Is she hot?
Well, I don't think she is.
Come on, even I think she's gorgeous.
I don't care if you think she is. She is a 1 out of 10 for me.
Babe, seriously. I'm not the kind of girl who freaks out if her guy finds someone else attractive. She's beautiful, and everyone knows it.
I didn't even give her a second glance.
Just look at her face and body. She's stunning. Why can't you just admit you agree?
Because I don't agree. I already told you she's not my type. She's mid and below average.
She's not really my type either, but I can still admit she's attractive.
I just don't see it. I understand you find her attractive, but I just don't. I can see a few features that some people might find attractive. There's some appeal there, but I want to be clear. I don't find her attractive. I would only ever see you that way.
That's really kind of you, but please be honest. I'd prefer you to be attracted to someone else than to lie to me. So tell me the truth. Do you find her attractive?
I don't want you to doubt me, so I guess she's all right.
She's all right? What do you mean she's all right? Do you think she's attractive? Why not give it a shot with her since she seems pretty all right? Maybe you should consider dating her instead.
Is your mom free this Friday?
Babe.
My piano teacher accused me of cheating because I played songs by ear instead of reading sheet music. Mrs. Patterson had been teaching piano for 30 years and believed there was only one correct way to learn. When I'd sit down and play melodies I'd heard on the radio, she'd slam the piano lid shut and demand I stick to the beginner books. Real musicians read music, she'd say, tapping her conductor's baton against my knuckles. What you're doing isn't piano playing, it's just noise. During my weekly lessons, she'd cover the keys with a cloth and make me identify notes on paper for the entire hour. When I asked to actually play something, she'd roll her eyes and assign more theory homework. Other kids got to play actual songs while I sat there memorizing scales. The harassment got worse every week. She'd position herself right behind me during lessons, ready to correct my improper hand position the second my fingers moved naturally. If I accidentally played something that sounded good, she'd make me stop and explain exactly which page in the method book taught that technique. You're not following the curriculum, she'd snap. How do you expect to advance to intermediate pieces if you can't master the basics properly? But I was mastering them. I could play everything in her books perfectly after hearing it once. The problem was I'd add my own style, little flourishes that made the boring exercises sound actually musical. The breaking point came during our spring recital preparation. While other students struggled through Mary Had a Little Lamb, I played a jazz arrangement of the same song I'd learned from YouTube. Nothing crazy, just some swing rhythm and minor seventh chords. Mrs. Patterson stopped me mid-song in front of 20 other students and parents. This is exactly what's wrong with today's generation, she announced. No discipline, no proper training, just shortcuts and showing off. She made me restart using only her basic arrangement, but I couldn't help myself. My fingers automatically added the jazzy chords I'd learned. It was like asking someone not to breathe. That's it, she declared. You're clearly getting help at home or cheating somehow. No 8-year-old plays like that naturally. The other parents started whispering. Some looked confused, others seemed impressed by what they'd heard. Mrs. Patterson noticed the murmuring and got even angrier. This kind of behavior disrupts the entire learning environment, she continued. When students think they can just ignore proper technique, it sets a dangerous precedent. She called my mom that night, insisting I was being coached by a professional and lying about my skill level. She threatened to ban me from the recital unless I could prove I learned everything from her books. Your son is undermining 30 years of proven teaching methods, she told my mother. Either he follows my curriculum exactly, or he finds another teacher. My mom scheduled a meeting with Mrs. Patterson and the music school director. The next day, Mrs. Patterson brought her evidence, recordings of my playing that she claimed were too advanced for my age and lessons. Listen to this, she told the director, playing back my jazz arrangement. This child is clearly being taught by someone else. It's undermining my entire teaching method and confusing the other students. She'd prepared a whole presentation about proper musical development and the dangers of allowing students to skip foundational steps. She even brought charts showing the correct progression from beginner to intermediate pieces. The director listened carefully, then asked Mrs. Patterson a simple question. Can you play what he just played? She scoffed. Of course, I have 30 years of experience. This is basic intermediate jazz, nothing a properly trained pianist can't handle. She sat at the piano and attempted my jazz version. 5 minutes later, she was still struggling with the chord progressions, hitting wrong notes and getting visibly frustrated. Her hands looked stiff and uncomfortable with the syncopated rhythm. The director turned to me. Can you show us how you learned this? I sat down and played the basic melody first, then slowly added each jazz element, explaining how I heard the progressions in my head and felt where my fingers should go. I demonstrated how the same chords worked in different songs, how you could feel the music wanting to move in certain directions. Mrs. Patterson's face went from confident to confused to embarrassed as she watched an 8-year-old demonstrate musical concepts she couldn't replicate. The director made his decision immediately. Mrs. Patterson, perhaps it's time you learned from your student instead of limiting his natural talent. I was transferred to the advanced jazz program the next week, where my new teacher called my ear training exceptional and encouraged me to keep playing by feel. Mrs. Patterson requested early retirement that same month. My piano teacher.
So my name is gonna create an anime character? Oh, I need maximum drip. Oh, you already know I got a scar, so that's sick. What happened with my U? Nothing? Okay, I'll take it. Oh, that's garbage. That eyes ruined everything. Okay. This is
These are some of the snacks rappers can't live without, starting with Lil Uzi Vert, who eats 2 packs of muffins per day.
I'm allergic to chocolate, so they introduced me to these.
What do they taste like?
Try it.
Then there's Ice Spice eating pickles as a snack.
I love pickles. Ugh, the first bite, who wants it? I'm gonna have to bite it on the side. Ew.
And finally, Snoop Dogg, who loves his own rap snacks so much that he threw the other chips away.
Snoop Dogg rap snacks. Try one. Matter of fact, pack them around to all y'all.
These are some of the...
Inspired by...
What's something you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy? I got a job at Disneyland when I was a teenager, and we had a couple that got so good at sneaking into the park, we ended up just letting them come in for free. They didn't have a lot of money, but they could never figure out how they did it. They actually just gave them free passes to come almost every week. They came so much that I saw them holding hands and wearing matching t-shirts for years, until I heard from someone that there was something wrong with his wife. Soon one day, it was just the man who came in. He looked upset and wanted to buy one of those giant 6-foot Mickey Mouse stuffies. His wife was really sick in the hospital, so he really wanted to cheer her up with something. He decided to surprise her with it, and I helped him put the huge thing in his car. Seeing how excited he was to show her left me smiling the entire rest of that day. However, 4 days later, I noticed the same one was back in the store. I asked someone why he returned it. Apparently, she wasn't doing good, but he had got special permission to take her out for her birthday. He had the giant stuffy waiting at home for her, and he stayed up until midnight to say happy birthday on the actual date. When he went to surprise her in her hospital room, she woke up and smiled at him, and when he came back in the morning, she had passed away in her sleep.
Have you ever met someone who knew things they shouldn't know? 2 weeks ago, I was on the subway heading home when a man sat down across from me. He looked ordinary. Gray hoodie, messy hair, blank expression. But the second his eyes met mine, I felt awe. Then he said my full name. Not just my first name, my full name, middle included. I froze. I'd never seen him before in my life. Relax, he whispered. I'm not here to hurt you. But then he started reciting things nobody else could know. The nickname my mom used to call me when I was 5. The exact street I lived on as a kid. Even the stuffed toy I slept with until I was 8. My stomach dropped. How? I demanded to know who he was, but he just smiled. I used to be your best friend, he said. That didn't make sense. My childhood best friend moved away when I was 7. He'd be my age now, not some 30-something stranger. I laughed nervously and said, "You've got the wrong person." But he leaned forward and whispered the words that made my blood run cold. "Check the attic tonight." Then he got off at the next stop. When I got home, I tried to shake it off. Probably just some creep who found info online. But the attic thing kept bugging me. So I grabbed a flashlight and climbed up. There, in the farthest corner, was a dusty old box I'd never noticed before. Inside were faded photos, letters, and a newspaper clipping. The headline read, "Local boy found dead in 1998 accident." And the picture? It was my childhood best friend. The letters in the box were written to me, but never sent. Things he wanted to tell me before he died. Things only he could know. My chest tightened as I realized the truth. That man on the subway wasn't some random stranger. He was my best friend. And somehow, he'd found his way back.
Have you? She snapped. "This is my life. I'll leave when I want." I simply handed her the keys. When she returned, a week later, expecting to walk back in, she discovered her replacement had already redecorated the bedroom and changed the Wi-Fi password. I woke up to drawers slamming shut. There she was, my wife of 8 years, stuffing clothes into suitcases with the urgency of someone fleeing a crime scene. She hadn't noticed I was awake yet. Her movements were sharp, almost violent. The bathroom light revealed she'd already cleared out her medicine cabinet. This wasn't spontaneous. This was planned. "Going somewhere?" I asked. She froze, a handful of underwear clutched in her fist. When she turned, her expression mixed guilt with defiance. "I didn't want to wake you," she said, but there was no apology in her tone. "Little late for that consideration. So what's the plan? Midnight escape?" Very dramatic. Her face hardened. "This is exactly why I'm leaving. You never take anything seriously. What I think is that adults have conversations before packing bags at 3 a.m. What came next was her rehearsed speech. She needed space. She needed to figure out who she was without me, constantly hovering and making decisions for both of us. I was controlling because I questioned where she'd been until 2 a.m. and why our savings kept shrinking. "I can't live like this anymore," she declared. "Like what exactly? In a house you don't pay rent for? With groceries you don't buy? Using a car you don't make payments on?" I kept my voice conversational. "Yeah, I can see how that would be suffocating." She whirled around, eyes flashing. "You know what? I don't have to explain myself to you. This is my life, and I'll leave when I want to." There it was, the moment she'd been building to. She'd thrown down the gauntlet, expecting me to fight back, to argue, to beg. Instead, I walked to the nightstand and pulled out her spare car keys. Then I got her main set from the door hook. "You're absolutely right," I said. said, walking back with both sets. It is your life. I held them out. She stared at the keys like they were snakes. Take them. What? Her confidence faltered. You said it's your life and you'll leave when you want to. So leave, but you'll need these. When she realized I was completely serious, confusion replaced anger. You're just giving them to me? What did you expect? That I'd wrestle them away? I shook the keys. You want to go? Go. But when you walk out that door, you're making a choice. And choices have consequences. She snatched the keys, but the victory she'd expected wasn't there. Fine, she said, but her voice lacked conviction. Fine, I agreed. Drive safe. That snapped her back to fury. That's it? That's all you have to say. You've made your position pretty clear. She stood there for a long moment, suitcases at her feet, keys clutched in hand, waiting for me to crack, to show emotion that would give her the dramatic exit she'd planned. But I just sat there, calm as a lake. Finally, she grabbed both suitcases. You're going to regret this, maybe, but probably not. She paused in the doorway one last time, waiting for me to call her name, to ask her to stay. Instead, I reached over and turned off my bedside lamp. Turn off the porch light when you leave, and lock the front door behind you. I heard her sharp intake of breath, then suitcase wheels rolling across hardwood. A few minutes later, her car started, then gravel crunched as she pulled onto the street. The silence felt different this time. It felt like possibility. By 7 a.m., I was making calls. First to the bank. I need to remove someone from my joint accounts. Since I was the primary account holder and she'd contributed nothing for 2 years, it took 20 minutes. Her debit card would be declined by noon. Then I changed every lock in the house. Around noon, my phone buzzed. My card isn't working. What did you do? I typed back, nothing. You said it was your life. Figure it out. She called, demanding answers. That was my money in my account. You contributed $0. You want money? Get a job. This is our joint account. Was. Past tense. You abandoned the marriage. Legal term for it is desertion. The silence told me she was processing information she didn't like. I never said this was permanent, she finally admitted. And there it was, the truth. This was supposed to be a power play. She was supposed to leave. I was supposed to panic. Then she was supposed to come back to a grateful husband who'd learned his lesson. Well, that's unfortunate, because I'm treating it like it is. Over the next week, she tried everything. Angry demands, nostalgic texts, showing up at my workplace, legal threats. Nothing worked. A week later, she was back on my porch, announcing her week was up, and she was ready to come home now. This isn't over, she said when I wouldn't let her in. Yes, it is. It's been over since you packed those bags. Turns out, the best thing that happened to our marriage was her leaving. It ended it. She snapped.
No my examen. No my examen. No my examen. Money paghi. Los bros. Yes my examen. Strawberry elephant. Job Sahur. Los primos. Parker Sahur.
Huh? 3, 2, 1.
Cellularcini viciosi. No my examen. No my examen. No my examen.
Have you ever given the wrong answer and the whole class backed you up? So I'm sitting in history class, half asleep, when the teacher asks, who invented the light bulb? My dumb brain short circuits and blurts, George Washington? The room goes dead quiet. I'm ready to be roasted, but then my buddy nods, dead serious. Yeah, Washington. One kid claps. Another goes, that sounds right. Suddenly the whole class is nodding like we just cracked a secret code. The teacher frowns and goes, no, it was Thomas Edison. But the mob has spoken. A kid yells, sure. Within seconds, 30 teenagers are chanting, Washington! Washington! Like he invented electricity itself. The poor teacher waves her textbook like it's evidence, but the class won't budge. Someone sharpies George equals light on the whiteboard. My friend whispers, he didn't just invent the light bulb, he invented light. I nearly choke, holding in laughter. By the end, the teacher gives up, muttering, fine, sure, Washington invented the light bulb. We erupt like champions. One kid saluted the flag. Another shouted, turn off the lights so we can thank him properly. The wildest part? Next week, someone turned in homework citing Washington as the father of electricity. The teacher circled it in red and just wrote, please, stop. So yeah, one wrong answer turned into a classroom cult. And I'm scared the school's about 3 weeks from believing George Washington invented Wi-Fi too.
Sigma girl. Ballerino Lololo. Piccionetta macchina. Extinct ballerina. Espresso signora.
It's alright, like.
Tralalita tralala. L'assist. Lucky block.
Give me that. One more game, no more, no less.
3, 2, 1, go!
Sigma girl. Ballerino Lololo. Piccionetta macchina. Extinct ballerina. Espresso signora.
It's alright, like.
This parrot was about to lay her very first egg, and she was in pain, a lot of it. Her keepers stayed close, watching, helping, hoping. Finally, the egg came out, but just minutes later, she collapsed and died. They were heartbroken, but they didn't give up. They kept the egg warm, and days later, it hatched. A tiny baby parrot, weak, helpless, but alive. They fed him, cared for him, and within weeks, he grew strong. One day, he flapped his wings and flew. His mother never saw him, but her life gave him his. This parrot was about to lay her very first egg, and she was in pain, a lot of it. Her keepers stayed close, watching, helping, hoping. Finally, the egg came out, but just minutes later, she collapsed and died. They were heartbroken, but they didn't give up. They kept the egg warm, and days later, it hatched.
Police officers, what criminal actually impressed you with their skills? Back in high school, there was this kid named Marco. Everyone knew he was the guy to go to if you wanted weed or anything stronger. He didn't even try to hide it. The cops were constantly pulling him over. Anytime there was a drug sweep at school, he was the first one they searched. But they never caught him with a single thing. The staff cut the locks off his gym locker and his regular locker too. Still, they never found a stash. Rumors started spreading that he was hiding it in a locker not assigned to anyone. The administration panicked and searched every single locker in the school. Nothing. The crazy part? Kids who got caught would flat out say, "I bought this from Marco." He even encouraged them to say it. He thought it was hilarious. Cops tore apart his car more than once. He always gave them permission. Then he laughed when they came up empty. Months later, the vice principal's younger son asked for sneakers with hidden compartments. That gave the VP an idea. The first day back after winter break, he pulled Marco out of class. He sat him down in the office and told him to take off his shoes. And sure enough, there were secret compartments. But when they opened them, nothing inside. Marco just grinned. He said he hadn't even seen his customers for 3 weeks. He hadn't started taking new orders yet. Had the VP waited just one more day, he would have caught him. Police officers, what criminal action?
Let's see the world's best cheese pull. Here we go.
Let's see. Oh, man, look at it. From top to bottom. That's a
Oh, keep going, keep going. Dang, keep going, keep going.
Let's see the world's best cheese pull. Here we go.
Let's see the...
What if your heart transplant came with the ghost of its first owner? Doctors told me last year I wouldn't live to see another Christmas. My heart was too weak. Every morning I woke surprised I hadn't died in my sleep. We searched for a donor for months. Every call felt like false hope. Another mismatch. Another bad heart. I stopped planning. I spent my savings, drank too much, and lived recklessly. If I was dying, what was the point of playing safe? Then my phone rang. "We found a match," the nurse said. Her voice shook. Her name is Laura. The name stuck in my head all the way to the hospital. The night before surgery, I couldn't sleep. I had to see her. She was young, blonde, and still under the hospital lights. A woman, her mother, sat beside her, holding her hand. When she saw me, she stood and hugged me. "Thank you for taking care of her," she whispered. "Part of Laura will live on in you." I took Laura's cold hand. Without warning, she squeezed so hard her nails cut crescents into my skin. Blood welled up. The nurse called it a spasm. Her mother just watched, quiet and sad. The surgery went well. I woke with a strong, steady rhythm I'd never felt before. For the first day, I felt alive. That night, the dream started. I saw Laura in her bed, hair blowing though no wind moved. Her eyes opened white and dead. She rasped, "Get out!" I woke screaming, my chest pounding, and found fresh crescent cuts on my palm where her nails had been. Whispers followed. Under the heartbeat in my ears, I heard a faint voice. One night, it said clearly, "He's coming." I jumped up, clutching my chest, and ran into the hall. My neighbor found me and drove me to the ER. While I sat hooked to machines, a police officer called. My apartment had been broken into around the same time I'd fled. The man they caught matched my ex, someone I had a restraining order against. He had a gun. If I'd been home, the officer said, I wouldn't be here. Now I sleep with a hand over my sternum, listening. Sometimes the beat is calm, like protection. Other nights it pounds words, leave, run, hide, and I wake with new crescent marks cooling on my skin. Laura's heart didn't just save me, it brought her with it, and I don't think she's finished.
My stepdad made me choose between him and my snake when I was 10. I'd saved birthday money for 8 months to buy Luna, a ball python from the Reptile Expo. She was gentle, never bit anyone, and barely made noise. Just curled up in her terrarium under her heat lamp, occasionally moving to her water bowl. I was obsessed with her. I'd researched everything. Proper temperatures, humidity levels, feeding schedules. I kept a detailed log tracking when she ate and shed. Luna was like my science project come to life. But my stepdad Derek hated her from day one. Snakes are dangerous predators, like he'd say. What if it escapes and kills your baby sister? Mom would defend me, but Derek got louder every week. Luna never caused problems. I fed her one frozen mouse every Thursday, cleaned her tank religiously, and she mostly slept. But Derek complained about everything. The imaginary smell, electricity costs, even how I talked about reptile care at dinner. Normal kids want dogs, he'd grumble, not creepy crawlers that could strangle you. The fighting escalated after Derek lost his construction job. He'd drink beer and rant about wasting money on that thing while he couldn't find work. Mom was 6 months pregnant and exhausted. I could see she was tired of our constant arguments. Derek started making threats. One day that snake's gonna be gone, he'd say when Mom wasn't around. Accidents happen with dangerous pets. I started locking my bedroom door and checking Luna's tank obsessively. Then came that Tuesday morning. Mom was at her prenatal appointment. I was getting ready for school when Derek walked in carrying Luna's travel container and his car keys. My stomach dropped. "We're taking a drive," he announced. "Where are we going?" I asked, though my brain already knew. Derek sat on my bed and stared at me with cold eyes. His voice was eerily calm, but deadly serious. "I'm giving you a choice, kid. Either that snake goes back to the pet store today, or I pack my bags and leave forever. Your mom will spend her pregnancy wondering why her husband abandoned her. She'll raise 2 kids alone because you picked a reptile over family." I was 10. I didn't understand emotional manipulation. I just knew Derek looked serious, and Mom was already stressed just about money and the pregnancy. The thought of her crying alone made my chest tight. But Luna's not hurting anyone, I whispered. Doesn't matter, Derek said, grabbing the container. Choice is made. The drive to PetSmart felt endless. Derek didn't speak, just stared ahead with his jaw clenched. I sat clutching Luna's container, watching her coil nervously in the corner, probably confused about the car ride. She kept flicking her tongue, trying to sense what was happening. In the parking lot, Derek turned around with those cold eyes. You're gonna carry her inside yourself, he said. Tell the employee you can't take care of her anymore. I'll be right behind you, so don't change the story. My hands shook as I gripped the container. Luna's black eyes met mine through the holes, and she made that soft huffing sound when nervous. The employee was a college girl who looked concerned when she saw me crying. Are you sure about giving up your snake? She asked gently. I nodded because Derek's hand was on my shoulder like a threat. As she carried Luna toward the back room, my snake looked at me one last time. I wanted to scream, but Derek's grip tightened. Derek bought me a slushie afterward like we'd finished some normal errand. Don't look sad, he said. We can get you a hamster next year. When Mom got home, she noticed the empty terrarium spot immediately. Where's Luna? She escaped, Derek said smoothly. Kid left the tank unlocked, probably slithered outside. Mom went white. She spent hours searching every inch of our house, moving furniture, checking closets. She called neighbors asking them to check their garages. She cried herself to sleep feeling guilty for not helping me secure the tank better. I never told her what really happened. 3 years later, when my sister was 2 and Mom's medical bills had piled up, Derek left anyway. Supporting a sick wife was too much work. Mom found out about Luna 6 months after Derek disappeared. She was cleaning his desk and found the PetSmart receipt from that February morning. When she confronted me, I broke down and told her everything. She hugged me for 20 minutes, crying and apologizing. I should have protected you, she kept saying. I should have seen what he really was. Sometimes I wonder what happened to Luna. I hope someone kind adopted her, someone who appreciated how gentle she was.
Hello, sir. This is Mr. Breast. I stuck in Antarctica. I need $100 to get back to America. No one is falling for that, Amir. That's not how you scam people. Sir, teach me how to scam them. We are only doing these stupid exercises and I'm always failing. Just use your brain. Why would Mr. Beast need money? He's rich as... What should I say then, boss? You told me to pretend to be Mr. Breast. Say that I want a giveaway or something. Okay, let me try. Hello, this is Mr. Beast. You won this Lamborghini. Send me $100 for shipping and I send it to you. Send money PayPal. At 100% real, I show speed. Use your other PayPal, dumbass! Oh, sorry, sir. At real Mr. Beast India. Send money fast. Or I call Mr. Diddy and he diddle you. What the flip, Amir? You should have continued your Uber Eats career. What's wrong now, boss? Everything. Let's try it like this. Pretend to be my son and that you got in an accident. But you don't have sons, sir. You have only 2 daughters. It doesn't matter. I will pretend like I have one and actually try your best this time. Okay, boss, I will do my best. Dad, I got in a car accident. Please send $1,000 to pay for my ambulance or I will die. I need to verify you're my son. What's my name? Adam. Where do we live? Houston. What's your mom's name? Amanda. Who do I cheat on her with? My math teacher. She's on the GAT list. Oh my god, you're really my son. I'm sending you the money. Send the money here, Dad. At Fortnite Master 245. Wait, no! Oh my god, thank you, sir. I will retire my whole bloodline. It wasn't meant for you, Amir. Send it back now or I will fire you. Fire me, boss. I'm rich now. Totals. Hello, sir.
Dads, how did your son get you banned from somewhere? I decided to take my son to the gas station as a little reward since he crushed his math test that week. I handed him $10 and told him he could pick whatever candy he wanted. This kid lit up like he just won the lottery. We walked inside, and he started examining every single candy bar like he was choosing a Pokemon starter. And that's when it happened. He looked up, stared down the chips aisle, then turned to me and whispered, Dad, that guy's doing crimes. I looked over, and sure enough, there was a man with a nose big enough to have its own zip code, stuffing bags of chips into his jacket like he was preparing for hibernation. He was trying to look sneaky, but he was grinning like a toddler playing hide and seek. Bro, you're not slick. Me and my son were just standing there, staring at him like we were watching live reality TV. And then, my son marched straight to the counter, slapped his candy down, and with full confidence said, Excuse me, sir. That man over there is stealing chips. The cashier paused, looked over, and said, Again? The thief's face dropped. He stormed over to my 8-year-old son, looked him dead in the eyes, and said, Mind your business. You little rat. I stepped in like any dad would. Told the guy to back off. And this man looks at me and says, You're raising a snitch. He's never gonna make it in the real world. The cashier got mad, yelled at all of us, and told the guy to leave. But then, he told us to leave too. Apparently we caused a scene. We grabbed our candy and walked out. But as we left, my son turned back, stared at the guy, and said, You're gonna get arrested for a bag of Doritos. Then, the second we stepped outside, he turned to me with a dead serious face and said, We should draw wanted posters of him and tape them to every gas station. I have a perfect name. The Big Nose Bandit. Dads, how did your son...
Number you stop on. What if...
Los Orcalitos.
Three, two, one.
Moms, what did your daughter do when she heard you scream at night? Last night, I was in the kitchen, dancing around, eating leftover pizza, when I smashed my toe on the chair leg and screamed. My daughter, Bella, comes running. She's 8. Cute, tiny, big brown eyes, but wicked smart and just a little evil. She stops in the doorway, tilts her head, and whispers, Mom, did Dad hit you? I laugh. What? No, Bella, your dad was asleep on the couch. She narrows her eyes like Detective Bella just cracked her first murder case. Uh-huh, that's what all moms say. She whips out her little notebook. Yes, she has a notebook. Starts scribbling like she's building a case file. Screaming. Nighttime. Dad present? Suspicious. Next morning, she struts into the kitchen, slams that notebook on the table. Dad's sipping coffee, half asleep. Bella points a pencil at him like it's a weapon. Confess. Did you assault my mother with your fists? My husband chokes on his drink. What? No. Bella squints. Then explain the scream. He tries to laugh, but Bella isn't playing. She leans close and says, If you don't tell me the truth, I'll call Grandma. Choose wisely. I'm dying inside because she sounds like a mob boss. My husband's begging me with his eyes, but I shrug. Bella grabs his phone and bolts. He's chasing her down the hall, yelling, Give that back! She shouts, One more move and Grandma gets the call. If this kid ever joins the FBI, we're all doomed. At night, chaos hits again. I'm in bed reading, and my husband decides to tickle me out of nowhere. He digs his fingers into my ribs, and I scream, bloody murder. Loud. Bella bursts through the door like she's been training for this moment. She gasps, sees Dad leaning over me, and shouts, "I knew it!" Before we can explain, she grabs the landline phone and dials Grandma. It's 11:30 at night. Grandma picks up half asleep and Bella yells, "Come quick! Dad's attacking Mom!" My husband freezes like a deer in headlights. I'm laughing so hard I can't breathe, which only convinces Bella more. 15 minutes later, Grandma storms into the house in her robe with a rolling pin. "Where is he?" My husband throws his arms in the air. "I was tickling her!" Bella crosses her arms. "That's what abusers say!" I'm still laughing, trying to explain, but Grandma doesn't let him off easy. "Tickling your wife at midnight? You got problems, son." Bella sits there smug, like she just solved the case of the century. And the kicker? As Grandma's leaving, Bella leans in slow, looks her dad dead in the eyes, and says with that evil smirk, "One wrong move, tickle monster, and I'll know." Mom.
Bro, can you guys stop making new memes every second? Because I cannot keep up with all of these new things. On my last video, somebody commented, "I swear I saw Totter." What is that? Y'all out here saying TOTR. 41. What in the world is 40?
Alright, Mojang, I know you're racist, and I'm gonna prove it right here, right now. So right here, I have a black bed on the left and a white bed on the right. But on the right side, there's nothing but trap doors. And when I spawn the villager, why is he willing to die rather than go on the black bed? And I'm gonna prove something right here. There's no barrier blocks here either. That means that the villager just actively chose the white bed on his own free will. And then over here, the white bed is now on chains. And yet the villager still decides to walk over the skinny little chain to reach the bed. And there's still no barrier blocks here either. And oh, maybe you're thinking it's just because the black bed's on the left side. Well, what happens if I swap them around? All of a sudden, the villager now only wants the white bed. And look, there's still no barrier blocks. Will the villager go 3 blocks to the right to go to the black bed here, or go across this enormous iron bar path? Surely he'll go to the black bed now, right? Oh my God. Bro, this is just racist. Okay, well, what about this? There's just 2 black beds on either side. Surely by now he'll have to sleep in a black bed first, right? And look, there's still no barrier blocks. I'll even spawn him on top of the barrier block. And yet he still won't pick a bed. Mojang, fix your game. All right,
La grande combinazione. La grande combinazione. La grande combinazione. La grande combinazione.
When did you realize some people have zero empathy? I found out when my neighbor tried to destroy my autistic son's only source of comfort. My 8-year-old son, Jake, is severely autistic.
Today, my neighbor's kid kept destroying our garden until her mom found out what was really happening. My daughter Maya has autism and finds gardening.
Bro, I finally got a girl. No way. Good for you, bro. It's about time you got some jizz. Congrats. She's so hot. Double caked up. Big juicy watermelons. Perfect Badussi. She has it all. That's my man. Is it Chloe from the soccer team? The one you always had a crush on? Nah, bro. Gave up on her long ago. You probably don't know my girl. Dog, you know I'm friends with the whole town. What's her name? Becca. Becca the cheerleader? No way you pulled her. The whole school wants that. Nah, bro. It's not her. I only know one other Becca. We call her Big Back Becca. Please tell me you did not go for that mass monster, that groundhog, that meatball, that whale. No, bro, what are you talking about? How could you say such a thing? I wouldn't dare touch that creature. She'd probably eat me. She definitely would. Anyway, if I don't know her, where's she from? She lives further away. Like a 1-hour drive. Costs me like $80 in gas every week. It's a bit annoying. Does she not drive to you too? She would, but she can't drive yet. Huh? Why? I don't really know. But we're literally 18? Why doesn't she just get her license? They're so easy to get. Her parents are really strict. They won't let her drive at this age. Bro, what? Is she disabled? No, she's not. She just can't get her license yet, since she only just turned 13. No, 13? You gotta be joking, right? Nah, bro, but she's really mature for her age. She reads books and shit. I know that sounds weird, but I genuinely believe we're made for each other. Please tell me you didn't hit. No comment. Bro, it's you? Chill out, bro. It's only a 5-year gap. Bro, I finally got it.
7-year nurse practitioner.
Have you ever accidentally saved a life? I was leaving school on a Friday when I saw a kid from my class walking home. It looked like he was carrying all of his books, and I thought he...
Here I've got some hot water. Here I've got some cold water. When I immerse the scrub daddies in the hot and cold water, a complete transformation occurs. Now, to show you that, I've got 10-pound weights. Here, under the 10 pounds, it's soft and compressible, and that's like a sponge. But here, check that out. It's hard and firm. That's going to be for heavy-duty scrubbing applications. We burned on brown and gravy, tomato sauce, cheese, and mustard onto a glass stovetop and a stainless steel pan. I'm going to take the scrub daddy, and you're going to see it's just going to attack right into that burned-on mess, scrubbing it right off. And remember, I'm just using water here. There's no chemicals at all, and it's going to cut right through that. It won't scratch any of your surfaces, but it will clean them beautifully. Now, scrub daddy's not really smiling anymore, so I'm going to put him here in the warm water, and in just a couple seconds, voila. He's back to bright, fresh, and clean every time. Here I got some hot water. Here I got some cold.
Stop scrolling. This is the
Tong 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 bruh tong tong sour tu blueberry occo puccini balloni luli loli capello cocosini bombardiro crocodilo un po' tutto alligatore devi troppa frulli frulla pinguino bla 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 easy dedicus per patapim la vaca Saturnita Chimpanzee, ni, banana, ni. Giraffa, celeste, cappuccino, assassino, prendo bandito, oi, li.
My cousin's fiance tried to ruin me with a fake story, but DNA exposed her. I never thought I'd end up in court because of my cousin's fiance, but that's what happened. My cousin Jake and I grew up more...
Lawyers, what's the dumbest thing you've seen in a...
The Ender Dragon Head and Piglin Head have a secret animation when placed on a redstone block. Shearing a sheep that's named Jeb _ will drop rainbow wool. You can see snow particles through regular glass, but not through tinted glass. You can build a wither in a snow biome. You can shear the pumpkin off of a snow golem's head. The pillager outpost is not symmetrical. On only one side of the pillager outpost, there will be one block missing. Good luck on seeing that one. The Ender Dragon...
Spell yes.
Yes.
Spell it.
Y-E-S. Yes.
Okay, spell it again.
Y-E-S.
Okay, good. What does it spell?
Yes.
Okay, if you put an E in front of it, what does that spell?
An E?
Mm-hmm.
E-yes.
What?
E-yes.
It spells E-S?
Yeah, I guess it's not a word. E-yes. I don't know. E-yes.
E-Y-E-S?
Yeah. E-Y-E-S. Yes. E-yes. You put an E in front of yes. E-yes. What else would it could it be? E-yes?
I guess you'd probably be right. Okay, separate question. What do you call the thing that you see with?
Eyes.
Yeah? How do you spell that?
Eyes?
Mm-hmm.
I-E-Y-E-S? Yeah.
Falling, dreaming, talking in your sleep. I know you want to cry all night.
Excuse me. Now. God. Are you crazy? Have you tasted that?
No, I didn't get a chance to taste it, Chef.
So you cooked it and you didn't even taste it?
I didn't have enough time. I'm so sorry you don't like it.
Don't like it?
I'm sorry it wasn't up to par.
Up to par? It's unedible.
Okay, then throw it out.
No, I'm not going to throw it out. Big man. Yes, sir. You like your food? Take a mouthful. Pass it along.
It was completely repulsive. I would have rather had a cat shit in my mouth than have eaten that any further.
Oh, shit. Excuse me. Now.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever been bribed to do? In 4th grade, a kid named Tyler walked up to me during recess and said, "I'll give you $5 if you pretend to be my twin brother for the whole day." I looked at him completely confused because Tyler and I looked nothing alike. I had dark hair, he was blonde. I wore glasses, he didn't. He was short, I was tall, but $5 was $5 and I wasn't about to turn down free money. So I shrugged and said, "Deal." That's when I learned he had already been telling everyone in our class that he had a secret twin who went to another school. Apparently this started as a joke, but then people actually believed him. And instead of admitting he was lying, he doubled down. Now he needed me to prove it. The plan? Every time someone asked him something, I'd answer for him, and vice versa. If a teacher called on him, I had to answer like I was also Tyler. If someone asked me a question, he'd respond like we were one person. It was the stupidest thing ever, but for some reason people actually bought it. Then, in gym class, things went very wrong. We were playing dodgeball when a teacher stopped the game and yelled, "Tyler, why are you on both teams?" I panicked, Tyler panicked. We both just stood there, staring at her, waiting for the other to say something. Then Tyler grabbed his knee, fell over, and yelled, "Mrs. Davis, I think I'm seeing double." She genuinely looked concerned. She walked us both to the nurse's office, where Tyler kept acting dizzy, saying he felt weird like there were 2 of him. We sat there for 20 minutes while the nurse gave him crackers and told him to breathe slowly. By the end of the day, he was so committed to the bit that he even wrote my name on his homework and tried to turn it in. The next morning, he handed me a $1 bill and said, "Sorry, I only have this, but you were the best fake twin ever." I never got the rest of my money.
If you use your gun to protect yourself, these are the snacks your favorite rappers eat, starting with Future, who we all know what he loves to eat.
Cheesecake.
But he has other favorite snacks too.
This is candy for when I get the munchies. It's a little snack.
Then there's Ice Spice eating a UK lolly.
A lolly?
A nice lolly, yeah.
I would like this. It don't taste like anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like it though.
Yeah?
It's good.
Next we have Travis Scott's favorite gum.
It's me and my dad's favorite gum. I used to take the full when it used to be in fall and make grills out of it though.
Finally, Ice Cube's favorite snack.
You can eat this like as a 3-course meal. If you miss lunch, this could be your lunch.
These are the
Did you know that Hiccup is incredibly strong? In the TV series, Snotload punches Hiccup right in the face and he falls to the ground but gets up like it was nothing. Later, Hiccup punches him back and knocks him out instantly. In the second movie, when Hiccup surprises Toothless with a new tail, the Night Fury gets excited and jumps on him. Hiccup not only supports Toothless's weight on one leg, he even pushes him back, and Night Furies weigh 1,700 pounds. Honestly, it makes sense. Hiccup grew up working as a blacksmith and he's the son of Stoik the Vast. Did you know
How far can you fall as these mobs? As a salmon, you are able to fall 5 blocks without dying. Although bats are a flying mob, you can still fall 8 blocks without dying. Surprisingly, axolotls can fall 16 blocks without dying. Same as the bat, although olays are a flying mob, in a hypothetical situation, they could fall 23 blocks without dying. Elder Guardians are able to survive a fall from up to 32 blocks because they have 15 hearts worth of health. Hoglins have double the health as a regular player, and because of this, they are able to survive an insane fall from 42 blocks up. But this last mob blows the other mobs out of the water. The Ravager has an insane 50 hearts, which makes him able to survive a fall from 103 blocks. How
Watch how this guy does his work without anyone noticing and see how he gets away in the end. Stay tuned.
What did Santa give you? Depression. You alright? But I'm kinda afraid to open it. That's what I got last Christmas. And what was inside? My girlfriend. You got a girlfriend from the depression box? I'm opening it right now. Don't. It's not guaranteed. What? You can get one thing out of 1,000, but the odds are not good. What's the worst thing? Everything is bad. You could win a car, but you would be allowed to drive it only after you get sent to the lobby. What kind of special gift is this? It's from Temu.
I opened it, but nothing happened.
Who is this?
It's me, Jamie.
You're giving more of a Jenna vibe.
I became a woman?
I don't know who you are, lady. Leave me alone.
Lucci, it's me, Jamie. The depression box turned me into a girl.
That's what my friend was doing.
I'm him.
You'll never be him, lil bro.
Ask me something only Jamie would know.
Have I ever embarrassed myself?
We went to a Justin Bieber concert and you peed yourself when he looked at you.
It is you. What do we do now?
Dump your girl and marry me.
What?
We can Fortnite duo even better now, and we can cosplay as Marvel characters.
Okay, but I'm Thanos. What did Santa give you? Depression. You alright? But I'm kinda afraid to open it. That's what I got last Christmas. And what was inside? My girlfriend. You got a girlfriend from the depression box? I'm opening it right now. Don't. It's not guaranteed. What? You can get one thing out of 1,000, but the odds are not good. What's the worst thing? Everything is bad. You could win a car, but you would be allowed to drive it only after you get sent to the lobby. What kind of special gift is this? It's from Temu.
I opened it, but nothing happened.
Who is this?
It's me, Jamie.
You're giving more of a Jenna vibe.
I became a woman?
I don't know who you are, lady. Leave me alone.
Lucci, it's me, Jamie. The depression box turned me into a girl.
That's what my friend was doing.
I'm him.
You'll never be him, lil bro.
Ask me something only Jamie would know.
Have I ever embarrassed myself?
We went to a Justin Bieber concert and you peed yourself when he looked at you.
It is you. What do we do now?
Dump your girl and marry me.
What?
We can Fortnite duo even better now.
You still use.
In 1992, a 79-year-old woman spilled McDonald's coffee in her lap. But this wasn't just any spill. The coffee was served at nearly 190 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cause third-degree burns in seconds. The coffee soaked her clothes and burned 16% of her body, including her thighs and groin. She was hospitalized for 8 days, needed skin grafts, and faced years of recovery. Her medical bills stacked up fast, so she asked McDonald's to settle for just $20,000. But McDonald's only offered $800. So she sued. In court, her lawyers revealed McDonald's had over 700 prior complaints about coffee burns. The jury sided with her, awarding her with $3 million in damages. The judge later reduced it, but the case became legendary.
It's hurting my head.
That's not for you. They use this classroom for grown-up lessons at night. They must have left it up there. Now, who would like to polish off what's on the board? Matilda, how about you? So, today is reading. Now, this book is actually for 9-year-olds, but you're all doing so well that I thought we'd give this a try. I'd like you all to read the first chapter. Eric, what is a chapter?
It's a chunk of a story, miss.
Absolutely perfect, Eric. What I'm hoping is that you can all read the first chunk, then we'll discuss